games. In total, from Toronto to Victoria, I've done about 2,000 events. So this has been a cross between doing a national political campaign and being part of a rock band doing a campaign. And this hasn't been done on my hands alone and on my feet alone. And it's because so many people have believed in what's going on here, and not only believed in what's going on here, but in the subject itself. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring this message, this very important message, to every Canadian from coast to coast, because we know that if it's delivered and presented and promoted in the right way, that Canadians will respond to this. And there's presently 4,000 people on the waiting list, and there's too many people that are passing away that are on that waiting list, and our country can do better. So right now, I think the main reason is that our country has not looked at this area and subject as an important enough subject to do whatever is necessary to address it. And that's what the heart of this campaign is all about. We're trying to get the attention of not only the public, but all three levels of government, and so that all three levels of government can make this a priority on each of their respective agendas, and try to let them know that probably the most important thing that we as human beings can do is probably make this decision to save up to 8 people's lives. You know, now that is a very powerful thing to think about. You know, during our lifetime, we can make the decision to save 8 people's lives. I don't think this has been presented to Canadians properly yet, or on a massive scale. So we're hoping that this is going to spark that off, this whole campaign. So with the visit that we have with His Holiness, we're hoping that's going to further that cause and heighten the awareness. And it might be the first of a number of visits with other international high-profile people. And maybe we can get more celebrities involved. We would like to take the same steps that the AIDS campaign took to get global recognition for their campaign. We think we can do that the same in this area. And also maybe put together an international press conference where we'll be inviting all the religious leaders to attend, and have every religious leader state their support for each respective agenda, or for each respective religion. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that send a very positive impact throughout the whole world? And that's not going to be an easy thing to do, you know, but that's why we call this step by step, because, you know, each step that you take, you can accomplish things, you know. So from that first step that we took from Toronto, and it just seemed like a tremendous amount of things that were ahead of me, we've been doing this step by step. My focus has always been, how am I going to get to that next community? You know, no matter what else was going on, because we've gotten into highs and lows, and there's just so many things that can go on in a campaign when you're getting recognition, when you're not getting recognition. And then my focus stayed was, okay, I set out to accomplish 769 days of walking, and I was going to visit over 600 cities and towns. So how am I going to get to that next community? And that's all I thought about, you know. And as a result of doing all this, we've been making a few waves, I guess, a few positive waves, and we're happy about that, because the winners are going to be the people on the waiting list, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's trying to give that person on the waiting list a better chance to survive and more hope. You know, they're living very desperately right now. You know, anyone that is a family member, Joe can attest to this, it's a desperate situation, you know, and we want to remove the desperacy and add in optimism and hope, you know, and that's what we're trying to do. So someone asked me that we might be gaining the same momentum as Terry Funk. LaForest in particular for donating the visuals here. I'm using them now, but I have sort of a whole bunch of different, throughout the whole campaign, different articles and everything to almost every community thing. It's gone up to Victoria, so if anybody wants to look at it, just want to thank him. So with that, I want to thank everybody else for coming up here, or coming here, especially you, Joe, for once again gracing us with your presence. And,
George, what's your reaction to being invited to meet the Pope?
well, it wasn't an overnight thing. It took a lot of hard work, and it took a plan. And, you know, it began when I took that first step last year. I was stating that part of our mission was hoping to meet the Pope. And I met with many bishops and archbishops along the way, and I was visiting Catholic schools. And when we got the news a few weeks ago, my reaction was, of course, I was excited because we knew what this meant, not only to this campaign, but to the whole issue of organ and tissue donations. So I'm excited, but I still haven't been able to feel, you know, like, people, do you know who you're visiting next week? And it's still, I still can't feel it. I guess I'll feel, it'll hit me just all at once, and I'm going, oh, I'm just, you know.
What are you going to say to him when you first meet him?
Your Holiness, thank you for inviting me to have this audience with you. There's two issues I really want to try and get across to him. I want to see if he can proclaim his support for organ and tissue donations as he did last year, and you know, do it again to re-emphasize the Vatican's support on this. And also if he can help in setting up an international press conference with all the other religious leaders. And that'll be pretty well the two missions that I'll have in mind when I do.
Is this the highlight of your walk?
Without doubt, yes. It has been. There's been a lot of other things that have been